So far, we've had a very simple data model containing a list of destinations. To finish this app up, we're going to add a second data model to track individual sites the user wants to see inside one destination and link them together. So when they say Rome, they can say, I want to go to the Colosseum, the Forum, the Vatican, and so on inside one place. Now in SwiftData, this is called a relationship. The destination has many sites to see inside it. Now rather than try and cram in all these things inside one big destination type, we'll instead make a separate site model. Separately from our destination model, then tell SwiftData that our original model has an array of sites attached to it. It'll take care of linking the two automatically for us. To get started, make another new Swift file, so Command N, choose Swift file, and call this thing site.swift. Add an import here for SwiftData, and then we'll say @model class site has a name string, and then an initializer like that. Now obviously this stores only a single piece of data, a string, the name of the site, but later on you can add more to it. You could say, have they visited it already or not? Its own priority perhaps, it's down to you. Anyway, with that in place, we can now return to our destination model and say this has a new property to store an array of sites behind it. So here in destination, I'll say there is a sites array, which is an array of site and empty by default. And just adding it like that is enough to tell SwiftData that each destination has many sites belonging to it. Now our original model didn't have that. There were no sites originally, but that's okay. The next time you run the app, like Command R now, SwiftData will detect the change and silently upgrade the model behind the scenes, take it into account. This is called a migration. It allows us to upgrade and adjust our model over time. Now, of course, we actually have to have a way for users to actually create sites for a given destination. And so we're going to modify our edit destination view. We're going to add a new section below the section here for our priority with a text field in where we can add sites there. So inside here, let's add a property for what we're typing right now. I'll do @state private var new site name is an empty string. That'll track whether it's typing for the new site name. And then we'll add a new method down below our body here that converts new site name into an actual site object and adds it to our destination's existing list of sites. So we'll say here, func add site. First, check is new site name empty. If it is, bail out. If we're still here, trigger an animation so it slides in smoothly. Make a new site object equal to site name of new site name. And then say our destination dot sites dot append that site. And clear new site name. That's all it takes. Oops, I'm missing an else here. That's all it takes. And now in our SwiftUI view, we'll add a new section here that will loop over all existing sites and add space below that to create new sites. So we'll say section of sites for each destination.sites, one site coming in. We'll do text site.name. And then after the for each will be a H stack with a text field saying add a new site in destination.name with its text bound to $new site name. And then below the text field, a button saying add with action of add site. So notice how we can access destination.sites directly. This is actually really, really neat here because relationships like sites are loaded lazily, which means it'll only load the sites when we actually request them. So in destination listing view, they're used, it's going to read them here. But in our original content view in this list, they aren't being used. This thing here doesn't show them at all, right? It doesn't show any of our sites at that listing view. But in the editing view, it does. So it loads them only when it's actually required. It's really, really nice. Helps keep our code fast and light on memory. Now, Before we're done with this relationship, there is one tiny change I want to make here. If our user decides they don't want a destination anymore, perhaps they say, that's it, I don't want to go to Venice, it smells, whatever, it's sinking, I don't know. What should happen to all the sites they added to that destination? Now, SwiftData likes to play it safe by default, which means in the situation, if you delete destination right now, it'll leave all the sites intact, just hidden from view. There's no way of finding them anymore, but they're still there. And sometimes that's exactly what you'll want. Have a different view to see all the sites separately from destinations, for example, but here it'll just cause confusion and clutter. There's no way of getting to those sites without the destination being around. And this is where we've got to give SwiftData a little extra guidance. We're going to tell it when you delete a destination, it should also delete all the sites belonging to that destination. To do that, in our destinations class here, we're going to attach a relationship macro to this site's property here. We're going to say at relationship here, delete rule of .cascade. Cascade delete means when we delete this object, destination, delete all its sites too. It's exactly what you want. Anyway, let's press Command R and see how it looks. So here is Rome. I can see add new site to Rome. I'm going to say I really want to visit the forum and press add. Perfect. Works first time.